It started with a knock. Not a crash or a bang, but the kind that makes you think, oh, maybe someone's brought over cookies. I swung open my front door at 8 a.m. On a Saturday, coffee mug half emptied, boxes still piled in my living room, and expected a neighborly greeting. Instead, the uniformed police officers stood on my porch, their cruisers idling with red and blue lights pulsing quietly, and behind them loomed a woman whose tight ponytail and clipped tone screamed, "Control freak, there he is," she barked. "That's the guy I reported, the package thief." The taller officer's hand hovered near his belt, enough to set my heart racing. The other held a rock-steady gaze. "Sir," the taller one said, "we need to see your ID. There have been reports of stolen deliveries." I glanced down at the box in my hand, my name, my address, printed bold on the label. The afternoon sun still warming the cardboard. "This is my package," I said evenly. "I live here. I moved in last week." "That's a lie," the woman snapped. "I'm the HOA president. I know every resident in Oakwood Estates. You're not one of them." That was the moment it dawned on me. This was more than a mix-up. It was an all-out ambush. A hard-won home. My name is Ethan. At 27, I'd done what most thought impossible. I'd bought my first home to bedrooms, a shag-carpeted living room, wood-paneled walls outright, in cash. After 5 years living with my parents, scrimping on vacations and driving a clunker to save every penny, I pounced when a charming Crestview Heights bungalow hit the market at a steal. No mortgage, clean title, the kind of freedom others only daydream about. But instead of the warm welcome I'd pictured, I was greeted by suspicion. Delivered at dawn with a sight of sirens, the gatekeeper emerges from day one. Linda Marshall made her presence felt. Dark ponytail, clipboard in hand, ice cold as a winter dawn, she haunted my new home, snapping photos of my mailbox, my hedges, my parked car. I tried to smile, to nod politely. I even joined the HOA's online discussion board, hoping to show I'm in no trouble. But Linda's posts blurry security cam stills. Urgent pleas to report anything suspicious, all but fingered me as an interloper. House rules by notice 3 days after moving in. I found the first notice taped to my door. Mailbox non-compliant. Remove within 7 days or incur $50 fine. No name, just the HOA seal. I checked the covenants, no mention of mailbox size. I filed it away, assuming she'd tire herself out. She didn't. Harassment in plain sight, the violations rolled in. Hedges to high $50. The day after they'd been trimmed, porch light on to long $50. Unauthorized welcome, math $50, each arrived on HOA letterhead, signed with Linda's flourish. I appealed, attended meetings, even volunteered for committees only to watch her preside like judge, jury, and executioner, dismissing every challenge with grand speeches about property values and community welfare, patterns of pettiness. I began logging each fine, every officious encounter, the mailbox ticket. It followed my polite refusal to back Linda's petition banning food trucks, the hedges complaint, the day after I quipped at a barbecue that her potato salad needed work. Soon, neighbors whispered of their own paper trails. Tom fined 8 times for grass, 1/4 inch too tall. Sarah cited whenever her toddler's toys lingered on the lawn. Mr. Johnson settled with $300 in fines for his unaesthetic bird feeders. A culture of fear had taken root, enforced by one woman's vendetta, unearthing the money trail, digging through the HOA's financials, a process Linda made excruciatingly difficult. I discovered that our $50 fines weren't funding playground repairs or new benches. They were bankrolling Linda's personal upgrades, new pathway lights leading only to her door, exotic flowers popping up in her garden, professional landscaping that stopped a mere 3 feet from the rest of our crumbling common areas. She'd weaponized our fine money to inflate her own property value. Bylaw bypass buried in Article 9. Subsection 12 was the loophole. Homeowner initiated. Common area improvements. Anyone with 3 board signatures could legally spend beautification funds on a project. Better yet, a clause specifically encouraged water features for their aesthetic and environmental benefits. And right in front of Linda's house lay a 3-foot easement, the perfect canvas. Rallying the silent majority, I drafted a proposal. A community koi pond stretching along that easement. I gathered environmental studies, cost breakdowns, maintenance, plans, then quietly approached board members Jeanette Morrison, Robert Kim, and Patricia Santos. Each had their own $1 million grudge against Linda. They signed immediately, murmuring, finally, someone standing up to her. The installation coup with permits secured and Linda out of town for her sister's wedding. The landscaping crew arrived at dawn one Saturday. By Sunday evening, the common strip had transformed from neglected grass into a gleaming pond, complete with fountain, lilies, and colorful koi. A brass plaque read, Crestview Heights HOA Community Improvement Project, funded entirely by the Beautification Fund. Linda's meltdown Monday dawned crisp and bright as Linda pulled into her driveway. She froze 3 steps from her front door, eyes widening, then the shriek that surely violated several noise codes. What have you done? You vandalized HOA property. She stormed across the street, heels clacking on pavement. This is illegal vandalism. I'll sue you for everything you've got. I stepped forward, folder in hand. Actually, Linda, this is fully approved. 3 board signatures, city permits, funded by your precious beautification fines. For once, she was speechless. Community backing word spread by lunchtime neighbors streamed by, marveling at the pond, thanking me for restoring their voice. Cameras flashed. Voices rose in support. Within days, the whole clubhouse filled to standing room for the next meeting. The vote of no confidence. Linda tried to retake control, citing obscure rules with venom. But when Rara Kim suggested new leadership, heads nodded. The motion passed 27-3. Linda's own allies voted against her. The forensic audit Jana triggered unearthed over $12,000 misappropriated for Linda's personal enhancements, embezzlement, fraud. The DA was called. Linda's downfall. Police escorted her from the whole office in handcuffs as neighbors watched in stunned silence. Headlines blared. HOA president's pawn of problems, her real estate license suspended. Reputation in tatters. Linda faced 2 years in prison, $75,000 restitution, and felony convictions. A true community restored at the following meeting. I was invited onto the board to help rewrite bylaws and ensure fair, transparent processes. Neighbors cheered as the new interim president praised our koi pond's environmental and aesthetic benefits. Linda's empty seat in the back row, once a symbol of tyranny, now stood for lessons learned. Closing call to action. My bungalow, once a battlefield, is now a sanctuary, and in Crestview Heights, real community thrives. If you love watching petty power get splashed with reality, smash that like button because this channel's just getting started. Subscribe for more unbelievable true stories of suburbia's wild side. The next showdown might be even juicier, asterisk.